understand that you might have liked to see them as part of this package. They aren't required for us to do the action, but I'm sure our staff is always happy to make any kind of background material available to any member of the public. And so I just, I appreciate people coming out to share their opinions tonight. I do want to say that we take this seriously. It's not, we're not sitting here kind of just spending a few minutes trying to figure out how to spend taxpayer money just for the sake of spending it. We're trying to have a discussion about what the right thing is to do for the kids in the district. So that's mostly, I think, what I wanted to say.
I have a couple of questions. What happens if we do nothing? We have a list of projects here. There are probably 10, 12 projects. What if we do nothing?
We do have, well, obviously we would do projects.
What does that mean?
That means,
I mean, I understand what it means, but what's
for
the
example, we must redo the stadium fields at Los Lomas and Cantaloupe High School. That has to happen next year. We don't have the funds to do it. We have to do the science classroom at Acalanes High School because we're out of space for science. And I think that the Prop 39 projects, which does not include solar, by the way, that was brought up that we could go out and get solar for free. The Prop 39 projects is really going in and working on electrical fixtures in the classrooms and installing things in the classrooms to significantly reduce the cost of electric and thus saving the district's general fund $7 million over a 15-year period.
And we get some help from the state if we do it a certain amount of time.
That's correct. We get about $800,000 from the state, and we get energy rebates from PG&E. So those are the big ones that if we don't do it, and then the other thing is if you don't do it, if you hold off for however many years, it's going to cost more money in the end. The projects are going to cost more money because right now construction is taking off and everything is escalating as far as project cost. So if you hold off for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, your projects are going to be significantly more and when you finally get it done.
In the 2010 bonds, what was the interest rate?
The 2000, I don't know that off the top of my head.
And then what are we expecting if we approve this? What are we expecting the rates to go out at?
3.5%.
3.5%?
Yeah.
And just to clarify, well, we're asking for 15 million, you wanted to put, there's an idea out there that there's 10 million floating out there?
Right, and so, and the governing board could certainly choose to say this, if you decided to vote on this resolution, you could say in this resolution, we appreciate that you put a resolution that covers the entire $25 million, but you could say, we would support this resolution, but for only $15 million. Then that basically clears it up that, again, this was included with the board exhibit. So when the press put out was selling 25 million, they basically forgot to say, well, they're only selling $15 million worth of bonds. So you could change the resolution to like that.
Elaborate a little bit on this concept of the validation process. I know that was one of the speakers referred to the concept of going into court, and what is that process? So I know that we had a presentation on this.
Right. So the process is to, that your 75-word statement did say it would be reviewed by an independent oversight committee, and it is. And the independent oversight committee, like the board, sees these reports quarterly, and they're all published and all available for the public to come and go to the county council's ballot measure, his opinion of the ballot says the attention of all voters is directed to the fact that the foregoing information is based on projections and estimates only, which are not binding to the district. The actual tax rate and the years in which they apply may vary, those presently estimated due to variations from these estimates and the timing of the bond sales, the amounts of the bonds sold, and the market interest rate. So the validation would be measuring those two county council opinion and what was in the 7540 state.
And that is done in, that's in Contra Costa County?
Yes.
In the Superior Court?
Correct.
And the trier of fact would be a judge of the Contra Costa County Superior Court?
As far as I know, correct.
And then they make an adjudication of whether or not that language, which controls.
Right.
Well, in looking at all of this and trying to understand what might be possible ways to approach funding the needed work, and in addition, the ability to take advantage of Prop 39 in order to lower our costs. It's always a trade-off when you have to use money to save money, but that's kind of where I think some of this is coming from in terms of for us to get to the place that we want to in terms of more efficient use of utilities, making sure that our schools are safe in terms of the fields, and that our students have the classrooms that they need, the science classrooms, et cetera. These are not sort of extra items. These are items that have been planned all along, and we ran into the recession. Not unlike many districts across the state. I think that probably the biggest problem in some sense is that the largest difference in the tax rate is not about this resolution. It's about the difference in understanding between what the currently issued bonds actually require us to pay, and the understanding from the language of the bond election. That is the major difference. It's the large difference between the rate that was published on the thing and what, no matter what we do here, will have to be paid, because those bonds are already issued and we have a legal commitment to pay those. And that, once again, is happening to districts all across the state. I have to say, part of the thing is I have to look at it. I think it's extremely important that we keep the trust of our community, because these schools are built absolutely on the support of the community. We get 20% of our funding from local funding from our community. And without it, we would be nothing. But we also have to take into account the increase in the tax rates is sort of financial terms. The sunk cost, we cannot control that. What we can control is whether or not we can get needed work done in the most cost-effective way possible, which one of our speakers mentioned that it was concurrent interest bonds and capital appreciation bonds. The CABs allow you to delay your payments, but it makes your payments significantly higher over time. That's what was often used to